Good evening. I hope everyone's okay. Let's see who we've got in to start with while the numbers build up. If everyone can hear me, please let me know, because as you can see by this, I've got a mic. I realised my audio wasn't very good, so I've got a mic to make it a bit better. So please let me know what the audio is like. We've got Budget Pond Keeper, Koyagi Designs, Twisted Koi, Michael Kirby, Scrag 68, Size World of Koi. Let's see what else. Scott Henderson, Ian Endress, Steve G, sorry. Kashi's Koi, Peter Martin, Home Gardens, and RC Flying. He's dropped the things off the end. Let's see who else. Andrew Fairclough, Ken Koi, Yorkie's Koi. Yorkie's Koi's got a channel, fairly new channel, guys. Go and check him out if you haven't already. We've got 40 people in as well. If you could please hit that like, it does mean a lot to me. Carlos, Niall, thanks for coming. Busy B. Yeah, so guys, there's a very controversial topic to be coming tonight, and it hasn't really got a lot to do with Koi apart from the people who were involved. So I'll get onto that soon. I'm just going to see if any more want to jump in. We've literally only just started a minute ago, so let's see who gets involved. But yeah, I've had a bit of a crazy week with the whole topic, to be honest. John Dunn, appreciate you coming, mate. James as well, appreciate you. Yeah, I've had a bit of a nut week with it all, to be honest. It's Keith Seabers Pond as well. Thanks for coming, mate. Get your own intro for the chat, copycat. Is that meant at me? Danny, I want some of that art behind you. I have got giveaways to be doing. I've got a little pile of it down here, so I will be doing giveaways with it. Good evening, Phil. RS Cosworth for RS2 Yorkie's Koi. Sorry, guys, can't keep up. RS Cosworth 2000 or RS 2000 Cosworth. Jason was the guy who done this sign. So Niall, you just asked about artwork. Go over and check it. Check his Facebook page out. Jason, drop it in for me again, please, mate, and I'll shout it out. He made this very nice hand paint sign behind me. It was a really nice gesture of him. So we've got 51 in, guys. I'll give it a couple of more minutes and then I'll start the conversation. But yeah, it was a peculiar one, to say the least. Like, nothing I've ever experienced personally, and didn't really know what to do with the information. So Julia Baldwin, thanks for coming. 56 in now, appreciate yous, really do. Caroline Webb as well. Gary Webb's better half. Thanks for coming. We've got a couple of guests coming on as well. We've got at least one guest coming on. Might have another two more coming on. They're just going to see what they get up to first. But yeah, right. So this was a bit of a crazy one, to be honest. I was never had nothing like it. So remember a couple of weeks ago, I told my story. I said, like, I've been to prison and stuff like that. Certain person had tried to discredit me and tried to discredit my channel by trying to stir up just stuff that wasn't hidden, basically. It's been on Google for 10 years nearly now. So anyway, so someone tried to discredit me, and anyway, I told my story, and then I used that story, that information, and said, if anyone needs any help, and I meant just with, like, you know, a family member in prison, or your son might be selling drugs, or, you know, I meant, like, if there's anything I can help in general, then come to me. I'd more than happily like to have a conversation and see what I can do. I was in the prison system for many years. You know, I've done the whole probation thing. I got an award off probation, actually, for turning my life around. a little bit cringe when I had the ceremony and stuff. But you know, I done my rip and I done what I had to do and stuff like that. And turned everything around, say hello to a couple more people. Kit Kat, hello. Ollie Log, hello. Neil P, hello. Kobe's Koi, hello. So yeah, so I said that, and then the following week, or following 2 weeks, a couple of weeks after, got a message, and it said, "Hi Danny, you're okay? Can we have a chat?" And I said, "Yeah, go on, mate." He said, "I'd rather it's personal, it's private, along the lines of, you know, like keep it a secret." I don't want to quote the words because I can't really remember, but like sort of keep it a secret. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I'll speak to you about it later. And I instantly thought it was about myself, to be honest, a little bit of a narcissist. I instantly thought it was about myself. So I was just like, no, tell me, like, what is it? What's up? You know. And he said, can you keep a secret? And I said, mate, you know, it's one thing I am good at. I can keep a secret, yeah. He was like, please don't share it. Please don't tell anyone. And this person was in the Koi community. He was in amongst people. He's not anymore. But he was in amongst pretty much every one of you in here, to be honest. And he said to me, he said, I was in a sex chat. I've been like, okay. Instantly, like, you know, this is bizarre. So he said, I was in a sex chat. And she said she was 22. I'm like, okay, I can see where this is going. And I was just like, he said she turned out to be 15 and now I'm being blackmailed. So I only asked 3 questions. I said, did you carry on speaking to her when you found out she was 15? He said, I didn't find out she was 15. I didn't see the message. She said it, but I didn't see it. Seemed like a lie to me, but okay. I said, go to the police. And he said, I can't go to the police. I've got a wife. And, you know, it's going to destroy me, whatever. And I said, go to the police, otherwise they will come for you. When I told my story, I was talking about what I see as more white-collar crimes, not involving sex, not involving kids, not involving violence, not involving none of that, you know what I mean? That's not my bag. Never been involved in it, don't like it, disgusted by it. So yeah, this person just starts telling me all this stuff and tells me he's in a sex chat with this 15-year-old girl, and he's exposed himself. He'd sent pictures of himself to this girl who was, you know, allegedly underage. Now, so I've said go to the police and stuff. He's told me he can't. He sent me a few more messages and I blanked him at that point. I blocked him. And I'll be honest, it absolutely destroyed me for a couple of days. It weighed really heavy on me. I was like, what can I do? Like, I need to do something. But I've never spoken to the police. Like, I know for a lot of you, you're going to really struggle with this, but the life I led, I never went to the police. I've never spoken to the police. I've had 4 interviews under police caution, and I've only ever said no comment. I don't speak to the police. I've had no interaction with the police. I never have. And I prided myself on that. And I know a lot of you won't understand it because it's a life that you have never led, but it was the life I led. So I don't speak to the police. But this was hurting me, like mentally, making me, you know, really low, and I didn't know what to do. And I thought, what if I've got a baby boy? Do you know what I mean? What if this guy's a serial predator? But what if he is? What if he's more than just this accident that he's claimed it was? Because I don't believe it was an accident, to be totally honest. So I rang the police anyway, and I had the conversation with the police, and I sent the screenshots from the WhatsApp conversation that he'd had with me. Obviously, that was the only proof that I had that he'd admitted to it, and so I sent the screenshots to Merseyside police, and they spoke to, you know, the police force where he's from. The police rang me back and said allegedly he'd been in prison before. I don't know what for. I don't know why the police told me that information. I don't know, nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? That was not my business, nothing to do with me. And as I said, it really it was a hard few days. It really was. It messed with my head and stuff. And I knew this person was in amongst the Koi community as well. I knew this person was talking to other people. So he was in my Koi WhatsApp group, my boys Koi, So he got removed, obviously, straight away. He got removed from another couple of WhatsApp groups because I shared the information with a couple of people, and he got removed. And I was in a bit of turmoil, to be honest, because on one hand I was proud of myself for telling the police what this man had done and was potentially capable of doing. And maybe he was a serial predator. I don't know that, and that's down to them to figure that out. Hopefully they will. And if he's innocent, if it was a mistake, then I'll carry that burden as well. Do you know what I mean? That would have been my mistake, and I would have potentially have made this man's life hell. But I couldn't not. As I said, like, I've never spoken to the police. I've never had any communication with the police apart from under caution when I've said no comment. But this guy told me that he exposed himself to a 15-year-old girl. And to be honest, the only thing he seemed bothered by was the fact that he was now being blackmailed and the fact that his wife might find out. Now, to me, that didn't sound like a guilty man. That sounded like a man who was trying to get away with something. So I'm not ashamed. I'm not bothered by what I've done, because I genuinely believe I've done the right thing, and I've genuinely believed that I've hopefully done the right thing. And there's a potentially a predator who's not amongst the Koi community now. For out of what I've seen, he's gone. He's not around. The police have asked me not to name the person, otherwise I would happily be naming him. They've told me not to name the person. I have told them that I've told people in the Koi community, because I felt like I had this like a duty of care to tell other people whose groups and stuff he was in to remove him. But I did say I wouldn't name him. That's the only reason he's not getting named on here tonight. But at the same time, as much as I would like to name him, on one hand, what if he's innocent? What if it was just a mistake, a stupid mistake, and he didn't mean it? I also don't want to be the guy who ruined a man's life. Do you know what I mean? If there's a police investigation, they'll deal with it. They'll figure it out. But I don't want to be the guy that ruined a man's life if he is innocent. So yeah, in the 8 months I've been involved in this Koi community now, wow, yeah, a lot. So obviously this is my partner Becky, and she's saying you don't miss a message saying she's 15. No, you don't. And also this guy was older. He was a lot older than me. I think he was late 40s to 50. I've never actually spoken to him apart from over messages via the WhatsApp group, and he messaged me privately that day. But otherwise, I don't know what he looks like. I've never seen him. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like Becky obviously seen me going through turmoil, not knowing what to do, and yeah, Ginger Viking, I can appreciate that, mate. It's just every week I try and tell a little story of what's happened in the week previous, because I think it's important and I think it's interesting. And this week, yeah, that was a bit of a mind blowing week for me. So yeah. Yeah, I believe so, Crafty. But as I said, I don't. I didn't personally believe that this man's innocent. But as I said, I wanted to share that story. I think it was important to share it, and yeah, we shall move on. So I've got a guest in the studio, and we will bring him on now. It's always like Jeremy Kyle on here, always. But yeah, here's the guest for tonight anyway.
Oh, Jeremy Kyle. No, you're much better than Jeremy Kyle.
Okay.
Kyle, boy. Yeah, not too bad, boy. Not too bad.
How are you?
Been taking it a little bit easier today after ploughing into it yesterday in the filter house. But yeah, I got a little bit done in the on the destruction of the old pond.
Very nice.
Plodding on slowly but surely.
Nice. You sent me a little video. You fishing the tank before.
there's some cracking fish in there. So I'm just turning my headset off. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got a video coming out, so I don't want to ruin your video, but
No. If you want to share it, you can share it, Mush.
some cracking little achievers in there.
Yeah, the Ginrin achievers in there, they're from my spawning, but all the metallics that were in there, they're from New Forest Koi.
Nice. So what about the Tancho ones, or the slightly Tancho ones? Might be
The slightly
Tancho.
Tancho ones, they're the metallic ones from New Forest.
Are they? Yeah. So they're going to be a bit of an odd one. Them, are they? They're either going to lose that brand and become Soragoi. They might gain more brand and become full achiever, or it might stay a perfect Soragoi with an achiever with a Tancho achiever spot on it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely busy.
Yeah.
So I'm just reading the comment.
What, that one?
No, the busy. Busy.
Am I missing something there, Vince?
No, it's just I was just agreeing with. I'm following the chat as well.
Yeah, just let me know if there's anything. And I missed it. This chat generally moves a little bit faster for me to be able to keep up with, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I won't actually host a live, because I'm on my own now, so everything's done by me, and there's no way I'd be able to keep up with it either.
It's hard, to be honest. There's so many people. I literally get messages after the live saying you didn't read me comment out, you didn't put me comments up. I'm like, I just didn't see it. Like, the chat's moving
because
fairly slow
they
at the minute.
go so quick, don't they?
Yeah, it's moving fairly slow at the minute, which is great, but sometimes they fly in.
And has Kashi told you that he's dropped you in it?
No, about what?
Well, I was chatting to Kashi on the phone, and he said that you, him, and Dino were going to come for a road trip down to Twisted Towers.
That's some road trip, that. Like, I've got nothing against it, but that's some drive, that. It's about 4 hours each way. But I am definitely going to be coming to the south this year. I was looking at, like, possibly hiring a camper van. Because obviously then me, Becky, the baby, the dogs can all jump in.
Just pile in, park up, and
and
just
then
crash out.
have a few days. He's laughing about it. Have a few days down south. I love the south of the country.
No, I was like I said, I was on the phone chatting with Kashi. I said, "Well, you've still got 2 fish here you got to collect." He's like, "Oh yeah, road trip for me and the boys."
I have still got 2 fish I need to collect. Yeah, actually, I've built it. It's not a thingy. I had a 1100 litre preform pond. Now, we haven't used it over winter because it's only 2 foot deep, so I didn't want to use it over winter. But I've just put it together now, and I've made like a little homemade polytunnel over the top. So I'll be putting a video out about that in the next few weeks. It's not fancy. The cover cost me £8.50 off Amazon, but for this, when the weather warms up and we're not going to have the temperature swings, it'll be a great little grow on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just enough to get them big enough to move into the other ponds.
I'm just gutted that my growing on tank's still not running.
What's happening with that? I know
I'm in 2 minds at the moment. I'm only a few fittings and a water butt away from getting the filter system up and running, but it's still in 2 minds on whether I'm going to go butane rubber liner or fiberglass it. I just need to get it up and running so I can start getting some temperature in there, so I can start getting some fish back in.
Yeah, like if you can do the fiberglass yourself, that will work out cheaper than well, maybe not on the size, actually, no, because it's quite small.
It swings and roundabouts. I mean, I did get a quote from oh bloody hell, it was actually Gary that put me in contact. Kirky's Koi. I had a quote from Kirky's Koi for a box world liner,
Yeah.
and the price for a box world liner was like 280 quid, and that's not a big tank.
No, it's really not. It's just also they are expensive, the box welds, aren't they?
It's 2 foot wide by 5.5 foot long by it's about 2.5, 3 inches short of 4 foot deep.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be a good boat. Well, it's over double what I had in there before anyway. So yeah.
So I'm building at the moment. I'm building one out of wood. I got some second-hand ply, 12mm ply. So I know they should use 18mm ply, but I got second-hand ply and I got second-hand 2x2. So I'm building the frame out of 2x2 and I'm doing a cross section about every 30 centimeters. So it should be really sturdy. And I've got 2 windows that come out of a big display fridge. You know, the big industrial display fridges, the massive ones that you're having like cafes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 10mm thick, but it's tempered glass. Now, my theory on this, if I put it in and it blows. Like, but if I can put water in it for a week and it doesn't.
Fuck it, it's only water.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, as long as there's no fish in there, there'll be no problem. And as long as I fill it and I have a week or so before I put any fish in, then I should know whether it's going to hold up to the weight. But I think it is 10mm thick. It is tempered, so I do think it will hold up to the weight. To be honest,
I'm not sure the difference between tempered and toughened. I was always under the impression that tempered glass was the one, if you smashed it, it broke into tiny little bits. But whereas laminated glass, where it's laminated, when it cracks, it still holds together, if that makes any sense, because of the lamination.
Yeah, so you're probably right. I haven't got a clue, so I'm going to go with you on that. You're probably right. But as I say, so for it to be smashed in my garden, it's probably not going to happen. And as I say, like as long as it tests out first, like it was a display fridge it was in my cafe actually. It was a display fridge, so it gets knocked by people, pushed into. It's been moved around. We lifted up on a crane. We had to crane it into the cafe. That's why it had to be taken down to get it back out because I can't take it back out manually. So it managed to go up on the IAB and be swung 25 foot in the air.
Oh, lovely!
And it lasted that, so the glass didn't break. So I'm assuming if it can handle that, it can handle a bit of water.
Fingers crossed.
There's
So
only
either
one way
that
to
or the
find
missus
out.
is going to be fucking screwing at you for flooding the garden.
We'll find out. We'll find out. But I thought I want to mesh with stuff. I don't want to just be in the box all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I struggle when I'm not able to do stuff because I start getting stir crazy and aggy. I have to be kept going, whether it's mentally or physically, because otherwise the brain starts to go where you don't want it.
I'm exactly the same, mate. Exactly the same.
So yeah, I know how you feel on that one, mate.
Oh, but there's people have said to me all the projects I take on and stuff like that, and they just think I'm nuts, and it's not. It's just because if I sit still, I stop moving, I'll go around the bend. So I'll keep building and.
I'm getting to a point out the back garden where I'm running out of things to actually do other than rebuild the main pond, but that's going to cost me a penny. So that's going to be a saving job. And I know for a fact that Susan's got a fucking list as long as your arm of jobs that need doing indoors.
Well, that'll keep you busy, won't it? Keep you something to
well,
crack on with.
I spent most of the morning sugar soap in the kitchen, ready for a coat of fresh paint. So
yeah, I don't decorate in this house. Becky does the decorating in the house. I stay away from decorating. I just make more of a mess.
Yeah, she gets more on herself than she does anywhere else.
Yeah, so do I. But so did you see the fish that I got from Exclusively Koi?
I haven't yet.
No, so I got 6 fish. I got three 3
Oh
Sankeys,
yes,
2
you
shower.
did. You got some Sankey, some shower.
You did, because you sent me a message saying that I was blocking the fish out with the banner.
Yes, I did.
The subscribe
Did
banner.
yes.
So what I've done with them, they were just eBay fish them. So what I've done with them, I just put I put £25 maximum bid on all of them, and I won every one of them for under the £25. Some of them well under the £25. I didn't expect to win them all. I just thought, well, if I put a bid on all of them, then I've got I've got a fair chance of winning at least 2 or 3 of them.
The same thing happened to me. Same company. You know the Kitsuri I've got in the main pond.
Yeah.
That come from exclusively koi, and when I phoned him up to pay for it, I ended up paying more for the delivery than I did the fish, and he was pissed because he expected it to go for at least 80 quid. Yeah, I ended up getting that for 19.99.
Yeah, well, there was a few. I put bids on about, I don't know, 12 maybe, and I won 6. But some of the others went for like there was a Ginrin, a Chiba from Coda, which are the same as what Koi Wholesale, what Crafties, the one that Crafties.
I was just about to say that one that Crafty's raffling off. That is a stunning fish.
Yeah. So this was just a very small one from that set. Small toe size. I think Crafty's one's Nisai, I believe.
It's a fucking lovely fish.
The same one. It's again the similar to the one I won from Koi Wholesale's auction as well a little while ago, getting an achiever. But that one Crafty's auction is superb. I will be having a go at that.
So you're not getting rid of the ayahuasca then?
No. When I said the other day, I'll have to be getting what did I say? I said something along the lines of getting rid. I just meant out of that pond and into the main pond in summer. Not actually.
I thought as soon as I heard it, I was like, get rid. I'm a bit beyond that.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice fish. As that grows, that's going to be a cracking
fish. I've really struggled to find out a lot of information on the ayahuasca. So essentially, it looks like a key shisui. Anyone knows what that is? So it's a yellow shisui. But I really can't find information.
Mind you, I've seen some stunning key shisui just lately. And if you get a good one, oh my word. Oh my word. And I mean, my favorite and my passion is with Shiro and Showa. But when you get a really nice, well placed white and yellow key shisui, oh my word.
To be honest, I only like high end Shiro. And the reason for it is I feel they're so easy to go wrong. The wrong water, they turn yellow, they lose the sumi. So they're a fish I generally stay away from because generally, if I'm buying smaller, there's so much scope for them fish to go wrong.
Obviously, well, it's the same with Shower as well, though. You can take Simon up North Koi Pond, lives up there in the norths, and he brought me down a Hoshkin Shower, and when he brought it down, he said that the sumi was dropping off it, and the sumi is one of the best bits on it at the moment now, and that could just be the change in water. But
that's all it comes down to. It's just the water. When I was at the Oaks Koi Farm this week, he's got some of the same Coda, Ginrin, Achievers, what Crafty's got. So he gets his. So he's a registered koi importer, but Ricky's his man on the ground in Japan.
Yeah.
So his fish get imported direct to the Oaks Koi Farm. They don't go to Koi Wholesale first, but Ricky's still the guy on the ground who picks the fish for him to be sent back because he's got the company in Japan, hasn't he? Who actually shipped the fish. So when I was talking to Paul, I was like, "Oh yeah, I've got one of them," and he had some absolute winners from the same batch. What Ricky's got and what exclusively Koi have got. There's obviously, there's many fish, isn't he? Some of them nicer than others, and I think the prices started from $395 and went up to $695 on them Nisai Achiever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some stunning, some Tanchos, there's some really nice ones.
I mean, you say about Ricky. Look at that Charatsuri he came across when he was in Japan. Oh, did you not see that?
I did. It was the one when he said something about the price, and was it
Yeah, it was like
50K
12,
or more?
13 grand's worth of char at Syria. And
Yeah,
I was
there
like,
was one. I
wow.
remember him saying something about 50,000 for something, and maybe I'm not getting the wrong fish. I'm not sure, but yeah, there's some heavy quality out there.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And I will get out there one day. One day.
I'd like to go out there one day. I feel like there's other things I want to do. I want to conquer the UK first. I think there's so much in the UK to be seen. I think so. I'd like to do the UK first. I want to go out to Poland to Yoshiki Goi, and then but one day I will get to Japan.
Have you not been to any of the UK koi farms?
No, I haven't been to Addenby, Cuttlebrook, or in New Forest. No, not yet. They're all down south. I will
Well,
do it. Like,
that's if you boys wanted to come down, we could always do a fucking trip to New. But I am trying to sort something out with the New Forest for this year anyway. An open day thingy get together, something like that, down at New Forest this year. Because I'm hoping that we're going to have the opportunity to get on some of the Mark Gardner bloodline Goshiki or Goshki for a growing show. If not the Goshki, then I would be looking at Metallica Tuba.
oh, I do like Metallica Chiba. I think you'll don't get on. I do like Goshki. I really like Goshki. But again, the one of them fish, in my opinion, I'm not an expert and I never claim to be an expert, but one of my fish that can be really hard to end up coming through with a nice one.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
so
Because
many
you've got
young.
your two distinct styles. You've got your paler style where you've got your Asagi type robing with your floating Benny, but then you've got your other style where it's almost as if it's pure jet black with floating Benny, and both look really nice. But for me, I prefer the paler versions where you can actually see the greying in between the outer. You know, you get your grey, then you get your outer scale, then you get your fuchsia in, and it just yeah. I prefer the lighter ones.
So there's one the gunmetal grey ones are the ones that get me. The gunmetal grey with the really red on them. I love them ones. I feel the problem is we look at the ones in the magazines and the ones that Koi Wholesale put up and stuff like that, and you start to see these champions and these real big money fish, don't you? And you sort of you start going, I want that one. And the reality is that the reason why they're champions and they're on the cover of magazines because
Oh yeah,
they're so
definitely.
expensive. Not even
I
just
say,
like expensive, like not unattainable to most people.
well, the most expensive fish in my pond. The only reason or the only way I was able to buy that was when you bought those three off of me.
Yeah. So what did you buy with that?
The Heroic Haku.
Oh, the one
Yeah, the one that come from Bracknell.
Bracknell. That's I couldn't think. Yeah.
Yeah,
So he gave you pick of the bunch then, didn't he?
yeah, he did. Yeah, that was absolutely awesome. That was because literally he pulled out two bowls and he emptied the vat or the tank where everything was back in the quarantine room. Emptied 12 pieces in there, and he said, "Right, which one do you want?" I just stood back and let Sue pick. You know, she was undecided between two, and she asked Dan's thoughts, and she asked my thoughts, and she took the two thoughts and went, "I'll have that one." And absolutely cracking fish. I can't wait to get a season of food into it.
I'm really looking forward to getting the food on this year. Like
I
I
mean,
am.
it's I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's all right having big fish. It's when you start feeding them the following year and the feeding actually turns on, you know, you're going through a lot of food. I mean, in the height of the highest temperatures we had last year, without crab sticks and gem lettuces and oranges and without the pellets and everything else, I was going through a kilo of mealworms a week.
Yeah, it gets a lot. Like the lake was taking 2 kilo of food a day, and
Yeah.
it could have easily took more. And this year it's going to take more. Do you know what I mean? And there's a big price attached to that as well. I was putting Yoshihiko Pro in. It's not the cheapest food. It's good though, and there's growth. And I know there's better out there. And I'll never argue there's not better out there, but there's still a big price difference between putting
Oh yeah,
2
definitely,
kilo sake Akari
definitely.
in there a day would be crippling.
Well, even if I could afford sake Akari, I don't think I would. And the only reason for that is one, I've had over 10, 11 years of use of Takazumi. I've never had any problems or issues with it, and I've always had wicked growth, so forth and so on. I mean, myself and Rocket Boy, we picked up a bag of Hikari Color at the National, and within 2 days of feeding it, color tinge on the water. No, never had any of that with Takazumi.
No, I'd say again, I don't claim to ever know, and I can only go off my experiences in this year and the growth I put on that Soragoi, the one in me accident the other week, is I tripled that fish's size in like 4 months. Now that might be good, might be enough, but for me, I was really happy with that growth. And as I say, come from just under 3 inches to around 9 inches in about 4 months, working
Yeah,
out
that's
an inch
pretty
and a
good
half a
going.
month. I was made up with that. It's what, 3 centimeters a month, something like that, give or take. I
Yeah,
thought that was
and
I thought that was really
and
good going, and that was on a lot of, well, say a lot. I was feeding 6 times a day on your Yoshihiko Pro.
yeah, and that's one of the things that I find addictive with the raising of fry and tosai is you actually physically watching the growth happen, from day to day when you've got all the conditions right and they're on the food, you can physically see that change 3 or 4 days apart. Can you see what I mean? Noticeably. And that's one of the things I get a kick out of.
Um, yeah, I think like so. I started off with small fish, obviously, and I realised very soon after I got them they were garden centre fish. They were never gonna amount to anything really. Um, so then obviously I started with some smaller fish, and then I bought the of bigger fish. But then when I started getting some growth on the smaller fish, that fascinated me. That was really like getting that growth. It sort of gave me that sense of achievement. So then I
Yes,
just wanted to make them all grow, and it's a nice
yeah.
feeling. It really is. It gives you something
But
to.
as you know, no matter what food you're feeding, you will always get some that don't grow and some that do.
There was loads in that tank. They're all the same size. Some of them were growing really well, and some of them not so much.
I
Um,
mean, let's say, I mean, it's documented all over YouTube. I mean, I've been growing on other farms fry for years. And even though I lost a big bulk of what I would class as the top 10%, even though I lost that, it was a loss that I had no control over. You know what I mean? Because you can't odds a fucking heat a thermostat deciding to shit itself.
no, I know that's.
But at the same time, I've still got 6 from that spawning. But that that bug has now got his hooks into me now. So, there will be a spawning again this year. But even on top of doing my own spawning this year, I will be buying in some 2 to 3 week old unselected fry from New Forest because my man Ricky's going to sort me out with some Goshki fry for this year, as well as whatever I spawn. So if the Utsuris don't spawn, then I'm chucking the Asagi in with the Matsuba.
So is your plan to set up a proper spawn, set up a 10 pond or whatever, and
Well,
spawn?
the plan is long term because the front room is now being given the front garden is now being given over to Susan for a patio and stuff. I've got 4 systems out in the back garden, but what I will be doing is finding some kind of metal frame pool or a pop up vat or something so that I can set up a pool in the front garden But once the fry are at a point where I can grade them and put them into various vats and that out back, that pool would then be scrubbed down, put down, and put away up in the loft until the following year. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a dedicated pond just for spawning.
No, so I've got the same. I've got a paddling pool that I bought. What did I buy it for? I bought it for a reason. I can't remember what I bought it for, but I set it up and took it back down. But I've got a paddling pool. I think it's 10 foot by 6 foot, 2 foot deep. So that I'm going to set that up to spawn this year.
Yeah.
So I've plans for me achievers and plans for me Hana Shisuis and me Sankeys. Try to do three paper spawns. Just because the spawn I done last year, it was just a bit of a mixed bag, and they all turned out looking a bit Chagoy-ish.
Well, don't forget, you've got a Deutsch Chagoy here that has got a fucking cracking body on it, and that came from an Achiever spawning.
So again, so that was what I'm thinking of possibly putting that through the Achievers. But no, really. I think it'll go in Sutton spawn. It'll definitely get spawned with Sutton. But I bought a Hana Shisui. Now, I'm not a massive fan of Hana Shisui, but they are growing on me more and more. But I bought one of Yoshihigoi's ex-breeding males. So he got retired last year. Obviously not because of age, just because time, they've bred them for a couple of years and then they moved on. So I bought their old breeding male. So then I've got my Hana Shisui. So I'm just going to try that, see how that gets on.
Sweet. Well,
so hopefully she'll get some nice Hana Shisuis.
Well, if and when I do spawn the Asagi, I did want the male Shisui that's in there to go in with her, but I really don't think it's big enough to beat the eggs out of her, because that Asagi, she's a big girl. She's almost 60 centimeters now.
Well, I obviously depends on size, but my Benikikuru, which spawned with the Hana Shisui and the Achiever, 2 females, 1 male, which is the wrong way around for the spawn, but that's what it was. That's what I had. He was a fraction of the size of that Achiever female, but he went like the clappers. He was loving it in that pond. He didn't stop. He didn't stop for 2 days. So he had a great time, and I don't think size mattered for him at all. Definitely don't.
Well, I'm hoping that I can get Lumpy the Shiro to spawn, but I'm hoping to put her. Well, I'm not hoping. I will be putting her in with the Kiyotsury, but I'm also going to chuck the Charatsuri in as well, in the hope that I can get a few more Charatsuri, because I lost the ones that I had in the heater incident. So
yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Like when I lost them fish the other week, I was devastated. I really was devastated. Like, and I know you was. You spoke to me, didn't you, the next morning? And
you know what I mean? I was crushed, absolutely crushed. And I say I was on a video call with Gaz the night before, and they were looking absolutely pristine. Come down 9 o'clock the next morning, and everything's fucking belly up. Tank's gone cloudy. I lifted the lid off, put my hand in, and I'm like, fucking hell, that's hot.
Yeah, it's just mistakes happen, don't they? And we live in them, but it's that thing we were saying about the sense of achievements. Like, you work hard, you put the time and effort into them, water changes, constantly checking parameters, and then for something to happen, a silly, oversight mistake, or in your case, it was nothing to do with you. It was just a
mechanical failure.
Yeah, it just is what it is, isn't it? We just have to move on and look up, don't we? Next thing's on. But I watched Lee Hadfield's video, the Taniguchi event. Have you seen it?
No, not yet. I'm going to watch that along with a couple of others once I've finished on here, when I start picking up my paintbrush.
It was. I was really on the fence about going. I really wanted to go, and I'll be honest. What come down for me was I just couldn't justify the £500 for the fish. I know that's going to be controversial. Other people are going to say
I couldn't personally.
Yeah, I just as much as some people might say the way for, I personally I couldn't justify it myself. So, but everyone looked like they had a good day, and yeah, I hope you all got some nice fish out of it. Did anyone? I know Crafty went, but did anyone else in the comments go? Did anyone get a fish? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see anyone who went and what your thoughts were on it.
Yeah, definitely, Gaz.
Where's his comment just gone? £500 for a herring to scran, for a herring to eat. What it is?
Yeah, innit?
Is the translation there from the Scouser?
Most expensive herring food.
Yeah. The herring, say, like, if there wasn't so many fish in the lake, I think we did lose a lot to the herring this year, but it's just sheerly on having 20 odd thousand
Yeah,
in that.
you're bound to, but don't forget, you won't just have. Is there another waterway close?
So we're only a few miles away, and we're on the main flight path, as in, like, as the crow flies from Knowsley Safari Park. And on the safari park, there's a
Yeah,
protected area for herons.
yeah. But no, what I wasn't directing at herons. I was thinking if you're close to a waterway, then you could have the possibility of having the pond cleared out by kingfishers.
So luckily up to now we haven't had any, and to be honest, touch wood that we don't get any because we're only a few months off harvest. But the plan will be, if the harvest is successful, we're going to net the whole lake. We're going to put a scaffolding frame around it and net the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of the net was, I think it was 800 and something pound plus VAT, and then the frames well. So it was a couple of grand more to invest. And to be honest, I've put an arm and a leg into it up to now already. So I want to see whether it's justifiable.
Will you be putting any embedded fencing to stop otters and stuff from digging underneath?
We've got the chicken mesh wired all the way around, and before the water come up so high, we had the electric fence around the water as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the chicken mesh should hopefully keep out any foxes, otters, or whatever. Then if they get past that one, then the electric fence would hopefully do the rest. It's just a horse fence on a charge. Hopefully then that'll do the next bit. But it's such a big space. As I say, we estimated it was somewhere between 5 and 8 million litres of water. It's a lot of water to try and protect.
Is there no way you could take the island out, but at the same time using the island to sort of like reshape it to make it more
So again,
viable
after speaking to the
to
landlord,
access?
everything's come down to the success from the harvest this year, because obviously he's got a vested interest. So have I. The guy who lives on the land, he's also got a vested interest. So it's worth it. It's obviously it's I'm renting the lake and I've paid for the fish in it, but if it's successful, then everyone does well from it. So everyone obviously wanted to do well. So the idea is, if it works and we do well, we're gonna dredge the lake, drain it down as low as we can, get it, and try and cut it using the island into two. So we'd have a small pond and a bigger pond.
Right, yeah,
So
that
we'd
would
be
make
able to
sense.
grow some on in the smaller bit and then transfer. And we'd also be able to have two age categories. So say we kept 500 of the creme de la creme out of this one to go back into one half and then fry
Yeah,
into the
so
other
you
half.
can go from Tosai and this eye in one pool, and then keep the fry to Tosai in the other pool.
Exactly, yeah, exactly that. So there's a few things that there's a few things we're looking at, but as I say, it's all come down to cost. Like, I spent a lot of money on that lake this year, and it was all on a wing and a prayer. To be honest, I haven't got full experience. It was just literally just the hope and the belief that I could grow at least half of them fish to be a decent size to register my company as a trading licensed premises, and I'd be able to, at least, if nothing else, break even this year.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to break even, genuinely. I'm not sat here going, I want to make all kinds of money. If I can break even on year one, that's a success in my eyes. It's easy to go, I'm going to make all kinds of money, but the reality is it's livestock. It's not an easy game.
No,
And
it's
the
not.
more I'm involved, the more I'm watching, it's not an easy game and living it as well.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Let me see if I can get this picture official. One of my subscribers who I speak to, he sent me this and said, do I want it? So much spam from the WhatsApp groups, you know. So I don't know. Is that coming through clear?
No. Is that a Ginrin Achiever or is that a Kajaku?
No, 47 cm Ginrin Achiever. It's your favourite variety as well. It's a butterfly koi.
Oh, fuck that then. No.
He literally reached out and said, mate, I've bought a load of new fish. I've got them coming in the next few months. Do you want it? I know you love Achiever. Do you want it? Free of charge. I had a good chat with him because I'll be honest, I'm terrified of bacteria. I'm terrified of all kinds of issues. And so we had a chat with him. He said, you know, pond spotless, everything's fine, no issues. Been keeping koi 15 years. She's 6 years old. He's growing her from a toe site. So yeah, and I'll be very grateful and looking forward to adding my new butterfly koi into the collection.
No.
Is Dean there? I think we've got another guest. You're really dark there, Dean.
I'm in the back stalking this fucking heron.
Nice.
Fucking heron stalking.
Turn your camera around so it's long ways. Those landscape.
What? Out that way?
Turn your camera around. Yeah, we're just looking at a black screen. Can't even see him. What's happening with the heron, mate? Is it in your garden now?
What, lad?
Is the heron in the garden?
It was on next door's fence over there. I'm pointing. You can't see, but I'm pointing. It was over
can't
there.
See you, mate.
I'll
just a black screen.
Let the dogs out, and then I know, because I'm in the garden, lad.
We'll go in the house, mate, so we can see you.
Crafty.
Can you see me there?
Country fire live. I sent you the link privately. Kashi, go on your WhatsApp and click on it, mate.
Bastard. It's freezing.
No, I haven't. Kashi, now click on the link. I've sent you it, mate. Yeah, there he is. Here's the Beatles that they forgot. Oh, the Beatles they forgot.
Ringo Starr's love child.
That cat wig that he walks around with. Do you have the team? Did they say that by you? Did they say cat wig?
What?
Dino makes me piss. Have you lost your there, lad? Your signal gone, mate? Oh no, where he is. Look at him.
Put 50p back in the meter, you old git.
I think your signal's not very good, mate.
He's like a Scouse version of Rabsy Nesbitt, isn't he?
He wants to be the Scouse version of Oasis, and I don't get it because they're Manx. But Kashi, you're not connected, mate. It says device not connected. So how are we, Dean? How are you getting on with the Aaron, mate?
That kind of shit.
He's lost him. His signal's gone. He might come back on. We'll see if he comes back on. So what's your plans this week then, Vince? What are you up to this week, mate?
Well, I want to try and get as much done in the front garden as possible, broken down. I've got the Northerners fucking invading me the weekend.
Who's that? Who's coming up? What are
Well,
you
let's
saving
see.
that?
We've got Davy Black Country Koi Bloke, Kopi's Koi. We've got Pete from West Brom Koi. Hopefully, I'm hoping, touch wood, that Mad Dog will be out of hospital because he's supposed to be coming down as well. And I was informed earlier on today I've also got Skeggy and Paul Smith coming down on the Sunday as well. So yeah, it's gonna get a bit fucking manic. But
Sounds like you'll have a full house there.
oh mate, it should be a cracking day. Should be a cracking day. Just means I'll have to do some fucking cooking on Saturday. I'll have to make some cupcakes, won't
Are you a baker, are you?
I? And that's Susan's job is the cupcakes usually.
I think everyone's having problems with the phone. Dean said he couldn't hear nothing, and Cassie's phone won't connect. Dean, try and come back on if you want me, see if it works again. I think because you went in and out the house, you're probably connected to your phone internet and then your house internet. I do that too. But yeah, so fish wise this year, did you see the Sankey that I got from the Oaks? Oh, he's a little stunner. He is. I wanted a Deutsch male Sankey, but the two that were in the main pond, which is Sansai, when Paul squeezed them, there was no mildew, so they weren't. Well, they potentially wasn't ready to spawn. So I got a scaled Sankey instead, which is ready to spawn. So he's going to spawn with me big female from Yoshihigoi. So I'm going to be crossing Jap and Yoshihigoi over regularly, and
that's going to cause some controversy.
I know, and I'm going for the highest end I can afford on both of them. I'm not scrimping, so I'm going for decent fish from both farms, and because essentially they're going to be English bred. At the end of the day, they're going to be English bred. So it might, if I went to Coda and bought two Achieva for £400 each and then spawn them, all I'm doing is breeding lower quality than what they are. The same fish, but lower quality. So
yeah.
Well, you've got to think their parent sets would sell for tens of thousands of pounds. If I pay £400 or £500 each, they're not pairing quality.
That Nisai Kahaku that we bought for Susan, that is the biggest fish that I have ever bought.
Yeah,
and that's Nisai. Everything else.
But it's not just about size, is it? So where's that from originally? What farm?
That's Hiroi. It's Japanese.
So it's not just about the size, though, is it? Because, as I say, if you wanted the parent set, the main parent set from that farm, you're probably talking 6 figures.
And the rest.
Exactly. So, it's a really difficult one, isn't it, to try and to buy. So rather than trying to spawn from, as I say, what I believe is slightly lower end Jap fish, I'm thinking if I just mix the farms and then slowly take the best from my crop and then put it with another Jap or another Yoshihigoi and keep doing that over years, hopefully in the end my fish end up having that slight difference to them that other people's don't.
Have fun with the Sankey.
And I know they're meant to be harder to do than others.
Yeah, I'm not a lover of Sankey, and they are a very hard variety to learn. And I've never really liked them, so I've never really learned a lot, other than the fact that they got red and white on them, and they got black spots.
So the reason I went for Sankey over Showa is because out of the Go Sankey collection, I believe they're the least popular. I mean, less people, not necessarily buy them, but less people want to spawn them, want to get into the other side to it. So I thought, trying to go a little bit away from the regular crowd sort of thing. If I went for Showa, again, it's a hard market. Kahaku's a hard market. Sankey, of course, is going to be a hard market, but it'll be that slight difference to other people's, you know what I mean? To what other people are doing and saying and breeding and stuff, spawning. Yeah, so I didn't know this. That and I don't really know how it works exactly, so I'm not going to start quoting it. But Yoshihiko never actually take the parent sets on site, or the original parent sets. They take the eggs and the sperm from them and then bring that on site and then use that to produce. And that's how the KHV, CSV, and whatever the other one is, clear. So the original Jap fish never actually make it onto Yoshihiko site.
Right, yeah, I got you. Okay.
Because that otherwise they wouldn't get them assurances from, whoever they get it from. I'm assuming it's CFAS.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I just everything. I'm not personally able to just do the normal thing and just enjoy my fish. My mind doesn't work like that. If I'm not trying to achieve more, I get bored too quick. Sorry, Vince, I lost you then. What did you say?
No, I was just agreeing with Gaz's comment there. Just because it doesn't look perfect doesn't mean it's not going to produce perfect fish.
Of course not, no. Some of the parent sets of what, again, a lot of this is videos, but some of the parent sets I've looked at. Some of the parents look like crap, to be honest. Look like they've seen better days. But it's not about that, is it? It's all about genetics, my friend.
Crafty's right. It's all about the genetics. Genetics is the main one.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying before about the I would love to be going to the likes of Ricky and saying I want to buy the best of the best Sankeys to spawn in the UK from different farms. Realistically, the price attached to that is just going to be so, astronomically out of my budget.
Oh yeah, you know that.
I know that, yeah, and I don't even think some people understand the prices you're talking. You're not even talking potentially tens of thousands. You could be talking hundreds of thousands of pounds for some of these fish. So my sort of plan is, yeah, Kyle knows more than I do. But do they take the eggs from Japan parents and take them to Yoshiko to harvest? I'm right in saying that. I'm not sure, Kyle. I don't know, but what I'm led to believe is the original parent sets, the originals, and any new ones they bring in, they take the eggs and the sperm to Poland, and then if they're going to breed a new, like say they're going to go and buy one from Dainichi, say, and then spawn that with one, and then their ones they've got, they would take the eggs from the one from Dainichi and bring that over and spawn it in Poland with their male, say, and that's how they do.
Yeah, they must have a separate facility then in Poland.
They've got one in Holland as well, so they might have somewhere in Japan, a farm that they work with in Japan. More than likely, they're probably going to have someone or some way of doing it, aren't they?
I couldn't tell you on that one because I'm not very clued up on Yoshihiko.
No, neither am I, to be honest. Yeah, John Dunn is a man who is clued up. Correct. If they were ever to introduce Japanese parents, they would have to spawn off the farm and then spawn the eggs spawned eggs brought onto site. So the original parent sets, obviously then they keep some of their best to go on to be parents, but the original parent sets never actually make Yoshihiko. Holland at Yoss's farm. Again, answered that question. Appreciate it, John. John does know a lot about the whole Poland thing and Yoshihiko. I was blown away watching how they spawn without letting the fish spawn. The way they mix the egg. Is it they mix the semen with water and then put it with the eggs or vice versa? But essentially, they put injections into the fish, don't they, and squeeze all the stuff out, and then mixing
them up with a feather.
But that what they do is to use a feather.
A lot of places do.
It's fascinating, like really is fascinating. I didn't even. I know everyone does it, like artificial insemination these days with dogs and cows and everything else, but I didn't really expect it to be with fish. To be honest, I don't know why. Koi sperm banks, pretty much. Could you imagine how much the sperm from one of them champion parents sell for? Probably enough to go and buy yourself a brand new mare.
Yeah, and the rest.
Exactly. It's crazy. But I am looking forward to the season. The season's getting closer, and I am really looking forward to it. I've set that sort of little challenge to myself. Whether I'll be able to do it, I don't know. But I would like to try and visit every koi dealer in the UK from the start of this year till the end of the year. When I say koi dealer, I've sort of realised what I've said here. So every proper koi dealer, not just every pet shop, every proper registered koi dealer. I don't even know how many there is, to be honest. I found quite a few, but there's probably so many more that I've never heard of. But yeah, it's So you never fancied doing these lives yourself then, Vince?
No, too much fucking aggro.
Yeah,
I don't mind popping on and chatting with someone, but as for the whole hosting and running, no.
Yeah, it's the swings and roundabouts to everything, isn't it? I have been enjoying them, to be honest, but I'm happy to cut them out an hour to an hour and a half. I think that's plenty. I genuinely hats off to anyone who does one that goes on for 2, 3, 4 hours, because
oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know how they can talk the next day. Like, but have you got any plans to be getting any new fish this year?
I've not got any plans because I'm hoping, like I say, I'm hoping to get a spawning done myself, and I'm hoping to be having some goshki fry from New Forest as well. So
Yeah, it's I'm hoping and praying that we get a new house, and then I'll be able to set these ponds up properly and say register the business and make that a new chapter. I think that'll be nice to have a few years of doing that and see where that goes. I think there's a couple of
onwards and upwards.
There's a couple of people registering this year to sell fish, I believe. It'll be interesting. I don't think it's one of the things where you necessarily got to be competitive and going after each other. I definitely think it's a big industry and it's getting bigger.
Yeah, definitely. And I still say that COVID's been the biggest help for the for the hobby, because everyone was stuck at home, so they all built ponds.
Yeah.
And I know there's quite a few being closed down at the moment, which is sad to see. I mean, Jose's having to close his pond down.
I seen on the videos that just a cost thing.
No, that's a split thing.
Oh, right, okay. Well, maybe he'll move on and get somewhere else and do it again.
Well, he's going to keep best 6 to 8 of his smallest ones, because he's taken the 3-foot fish tank that I had down in the porch. So he's going to be able to keep some at least for the time being.
Well, you never know. Things change, like if my life 4 years ago was just a million miles away from my life now in such a short time, it can change so easy. And
oh yeah,
what can look like the end of the world now could just be the start of such a better life for him. So hopefully he achieves everything he wants to, and he gets hopefully he gets what he wants to achieve. Bill's maybe dropping 40% in April. I hope that's true, because the £67 thing, is ended in March, and my electricity and gas bill at the moment is coming in around just under £500 a month minus the £67, so just around £400 a month we're paying gas and electricity. It's ridiculous.
I think I'm averaging about £65-70 a fortnight on electric.
Yes,
without the gas.
I genuinely, I was speaking to people, and I don't know why ours is so expensive. I really don't, but I'm probably paying for next doors as well.
In fact, you'll probably find my son's computer uses more wattage than my fucking PON systems do.
Xboxes and PlayStations are notorious for using like a lot of wattage.
Right, he's got gaming PC. He does that World of Warcraft shit. I can't say that. I lost 5.5, 6 years of my life to World of Warcraft.
Do you know what? I've never been interested. Becky, she plays Xbox and the I'm like an arm man. No, I'm one of them things. A Switch. I've got no interest in it. I'd rather be in the garden with a piece of wood and a saw.
Yeah, definitely. Computer days have gone. I mean, I can't work my way around a fucking computer half the time.
What have you got in your house, Peter? A crop? Jesus, £750 a month. That's some serious energy, that.
Phew.
So this is like Becky's just put on then. Merseyside and the Northwest are the most expensive county for some reason. This is in electricity and gas we were looking at the other day. So Liverpool is classed as one of the poorest areas to live, but our energy bills are the highest in the UK. Now, if that's not a case of taking from the poor, I really don't know what is, because I was blown away at that. Literally, the article stated Liverpool is one of the poorest places to live. At the same time, they pay the most energy.
Don't get me started on politics.
I can't stand the government. Really can't. You're a man who likes music. Have you ever listened to Jamie Webster?
Who?
Jamie Webster.
Who's that?
He's a Liverpool singer, Liverpool lad, but he's coming up major at the minute. Like he's becoming famous rapidly, and he sings a lot about the government, and he sings a lot about politics and hypocrisy and stuff like that. And I love him.
Like a Scouse version of Tom McDonald.
I don't know who Tom McDonald is. Generally don't. I can't even play his songs because YouTube do you, so you can't do anything. But
I'll send you some links later.
Send me something, I'll send you some of Jamie Webster's. Yeah, he's the one who sings "Fuck the Tories." He does a big thing for "Fuck the Tories." Have you ever seen Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Baddie, the UFC fighter? Oh, Paddy the Baddie. Well, Jamie's one of the main ones who sings that, and he sings "Fuck the Tories" anyway. Cherry Coke. We had a conversation about this in the group the other day, John. Cherry Coke is far superior than normal Coke.
Oh, yes.
It's 100%. Just so much nicer. What's Kyle saying? No, I don't know Paddy the Baddie. I wish I did, to be honest. I am definitely a big fan of Paddy. Like I hope he goes far in the UFC, but no, I don't know. It's a big city. It's 600,000 people. But yeah, guys, I think we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes now, and I know it feels like it's flown over, to be honest. But
yeah, definitely has.
Yeah, I am conscious about these lives dragging out, to be honest. I think that you can have too much of a good thing. Not that you might agree it's a good thing, but I definitely do. So you might be thinking, what's he going on about now? But
yeah, I'll go back to painting me little soldiers.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. And I know the start of this was a bit of a crazy one, but as I said, I just like to tell them bits of stories, what happens through the weekend. This week was unbelievable. So I apologise if you didn't really want to hear that and you wasn't here for that, but I just thought.
At the end of the day, Dan, your channel, your show, you can say what the fuck you like, brother.
Yeah, and as I say, that the only reason I've ever spoke to this guy was because he was in the Koi community. So I definitely thought there was a relevance there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. But anyway, Vince, massive appreciation for you coming on, mate. I really do
worries,
appreciate
brother.
it.
Anytime.
And thanks everyone else for watching, and we'll catch you all next week, hopefully, if not before. I'll see you all soon.